Gravity waves. I know I need to do my presentation, but I'm just so tired and it's so boring. It kind of makes me want to fall asleep. Albert Einstein?
Yes.
What are you doing here, Albert Einstein?
I've heard you need to learn about gravity.
I do.
Well, great.
Do you have an idea?
Yes, I have an idea.
Okay. So what are we doing at the park, Albert?
Would you please go sit under that tree right there?
Go sit under the tree?
Yes, please.
Okay. But what am I doing here?
Just wait.
I think I understand what's going on here. I remember that story about how you were sitting under the apple tree and then an apple... Hey! You threw that at me!
It fell from the tree. It was gravity.
What do you mean? Look, it still has the sticker on it. Come on!
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
My head hurts. It's a good thing I had these frozen vegetables. But I still feel like I haven't really learned anything about gravity.
Lesson 2. Gravity waves. Large objects such as the sun and planets aren't the only masses that warp fabric space-time. Anything with mass, including your body, bends this four-dimensional cosmic grid. The warp, in turn, creates the effect of gravity redirecting the path of objects that travel into it.
So like my body is warping space and time?
Yeah, sort of. This warping actually creates waves, gravity waves. Watch whenever I drop this ball into this water. See all the waves that come out of it?
So objects with mass actually create waves in space-time?
Yes, sir.
And can we detect these waves?
Yes, and we actually detect them with something called LIGO.
Legos. I love Legos.
No, LIGO. It's with an I, not an E.
Oh. So I hope you guys have heard the story of, I'm sure you have, Rana Adhikari, the Caltech's professor, who is in charge of one of the LIGO bases, and how they got that first signal. If you haven't, you need to watch that YouTube video. I think it's in my sources. It's awesome. And if you haven't, you won't get this next part. Okay, get ready to turn the LIGO on. Just be prepared though, because we're not going to get anything probably for a few months, and then it's going to take us a while to kind of comb through the data and work out the kinks and get everything working right. Okay.
Okay.
So just be prepared. It's going to take a long time.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to go home and get some sleep. Go ahead and turn it on.
We got a signal, sir.
What?
Yeah, please.
Hey, listen, I told you not to get excited. I'll look at it later. Good morning.
Good morning. Did you get a chance to look at that signal? Everyone is talking about it.
Everyone's dumb. That signal doesn't mean anything. It's going to take a long time before we get a good signal, okay? That's just how these things work. We're not just going to turn on the machine and all of a sudden get a good signal. I'll look at it later. How's it going?
Good.
You know, you look really familiar. Are you sure I haven't met you before this job?
No, but have you got a chance to look at that? I bet you haven't got a chance to look at that signal, have you
Would you
yet?
quit bugging me about the signal? Like, I'm gonna look at it. It's nothing, okay? It's probably like raccoons running around in the system. I'll look at it. You know what? This signal I found, it's actually, I think it might be legit. I'm gonna have to go tell everybody. So obviously my daughter has been helping me with my project. That's not the real Albert Einstein, but one of the things I wanted to do was play the sound of the two black holes colliding and what it actually would sound like to her and just get her reaction. So that's this next part of the video.
Yeah, this is the sound of what? What are we listening to? This is the sound of two black holes colliding. This is actually a computer rendering of the gravitational wave. That's right. Sound. This is a simulation, but the data agrees with the simulation. This is what it would sound like. This is what it would sound like. So, drum roll, please.
What do you think it's gonna sound like?
I want to hear that song every day.
He's got Bugs Bunny? What is that? Big things come in little packages. Those sounds are really telling us things about the universe that we have no other way of discerning. Those kinds of
I think I understand a little bit more about gravity waves now. I really appreciate your help, though I'm not really sure I understand why you're here.
Good. Science is awesome. Wake up.
Oh, man, have I been asleep this whole time? I've really got to get to work on my presentation. Man, my head hurts, though. Gravity waves are fascinating to me. I have had a lot of fun learning about them. To say I completely understand them would be a complete fabrication. Just the idea of gravity bending space and time, I feel like I can't comprehend because I don't really comprehend what space and time actually is. I understand the concept of a fourth dimension, and I think I can understand the concepts, but it's like my brain just can't really truly wrap around it. My cat is attacking me. Also what I found fascinating was learning about LIGA and the two bases and kind of how, I apologize for not getting his name correct. I know I'm not going to get it correct, but Rana Adhikari, he's the physics professor at Caltech, how they were setting up LIGA, and then the first night, both bases kind of did what they were going to do for recalibrating the machines and set it to detect incoming signals and went to bed, and they were expecting it was going to take months and months, but the very first night they got the signal of those two black holes that collided. That was a really neat story. I'm sure you guys have both probably heard it, read about it, but there's a really good YouTube video in my sources that's really interesting if you haven't, just by some chance. So I really enjoyed learning about that. I really enjoyed hearing his stories, and it was really fun. My daughter watching the sound that the two colliding black holes make on the Late Show that night. I had heard it in other videos as well, but that was really neat. She thought that was interesting. It made kind of learning fun for her. She actually learned a lot. Yesterday she went to the ETSU planetarium, and she asked her guide there, which I'm not sure who it is, what the sound of two black holes colliding sounds like. I think she was trying to like catch him in like a I know more than you do, but he was able to tell her that it sounded kind of like throwing a stone in a large body of water would sound like, which is, you know, kind of like what it sounded like. So she was satisfied by that answer, but I think she thought she was going to catch him in something that she knew that he didn't know. Gravity waves, it's still, it blows my mind just that we're able to even detect the gravity waves, especially with all of the just normal movement on the Earth. I mean, tectonic plate movement, you know, traffic. I would think that, I mean, obviously it wouldn't affect it that much, but just that we're talking about movement that is as small as like an atom's width. I would think that there would be so many things that would affect that. Like, I don't fully comprehend, even after reading a lot about LIGA, how it minimizes those other just normal movements of Earth. A bird landing on it, you know, I mean, if we're talking about like movement the size of an atom, like that is just amazing that they are able to do that. And just the idea that we're going to be able to use gravity waves to look at things we've never looked at before. Because if we can do this now, I mean, think of what we're going to be able to do in 50 years, 100 years, you know, even further along. We're going to be able to see possibly like what's really truly inside a black hole, what it looks like, maybe, or definitely like stars, the fusion that's going on inside, and just get a better idea of things that we can't normally see. So yeah, I've really enjoyed this. I've enjoyed your class. I love astronomy. Hopefully I'll have a chance to take more classes when I go to ETSU. Thank you.